All right, guys, so we've got us a Precision Matthews D1-5 Collet Chuck that we're getting ready to take out of the box. I just got this yesterday. It did come boxed up in this box here, padded pretty good so that it didn't get damaged. It does come with a little manual. There's the T-wrench, which first thing we're going to have to do is pull this spring off. Throw that in my spring collection. Got the studs, got the screws. We're going to have to obviously put this together. I do plan on taking this apart to see how clean it is and how it's put together on the inside. Padded very good. So the surfaces and the machining look top notch. By the way, Precision Matthews has these manufactured in Taiwan, not China. So, you know, to me that's a plus. Let's just see how it feels right from the start. Feels smooth. Let's go ahead. Looks very good down inside. I don't know if you can see on the camera how nice of a fit and finish that is. Now, just to be on the safe side, I want to mark this so that I know what direction to put it back in. So from the key, I'm just going to put a mark right here. Go a little deeper. Do her. Get my impact. Hardware looks good. Looks like it's good quality. I have no idea where this even splits at. I don't know if you can see. By the way, this is a set true. You see these screws right here? This is a set true style, so that once this is mounted on the lathe, you can tweak it in and get the run out as close as you can possibly get it. In this, I mean, you literally cannot see the seam. I hate to even take it apart, to be honest with you, but I've got to know what the internals look like. does feel clean. I don't feel or see any kind of debris in there. That's probably as far as I'm going to go on this. There's two roll pins. There's a roll pin here and a roll pin here that holds these gears in right here. And of course there's the nose of the gear goes into this piece, then the roll pin prevents it from backing out. And you can see the pins right there. I don't really see a reason to even take these out. You can see everything you need to see right there. Okay, this is smooth. Feels good, looks good. The machining on this looks like it could have been a little bit better, but it actually isn't too bad compared to others that I've seen. I've seen a couple other like cheaper versions of this. The machining on this gear right here was just totally messed up. Now I don't see this is a polished mirror finish right here. I don't see any kind of a thrust bearing on this. There's been other videos I've seen where there's actually needle bearings that ride on this, but I'm not seeing that here. That hole right here is the grease or oil port. Okay, there's a little chip right there. That's why you want to take these apart and do a little inspection on them. In fact, after seeing that, I'm going to go ahead and get a rag, clean all this up before we go back together. So you can get cheaper versions of this, and I opted to get the more expensive one. Obviously it's not a Bison, but this is kind of in the middle of the road. One other reason why I went ahead and went with Precision Matthews is because they do have a good reputation of taking care of you. If you do have an issue, they do have good customer support. They've got a little groove machined in here, a little recess, and when you put grease or oil in it, it allows that to squeeze into this area right here so that it can equally and evenly cover the mating surface. Now you can clean this up however much you want. About all I'm going to do is I'm going to finish getting all the grease out of the gears, and I'm going to go back together with this, and we're going to get it on the lathe and get it dialed in. Just checking the threads on the collet. Collet's screw in. Very good. The one thing the manual does not say is what kind of oil or grease they recommend in this. If you do Googling, there's all kinds of recommendations from whey oil to different greases. It obviously comes from the factory with grease. Okay, I've got this cleaned up as much as I'm going to clean it up. You can see the machining's relatively even across this, but you can tell that it wasn't perfectly machined, and there's a little divot right here in this tooth. I'm going to take a file And I'm just going to take a little jeweler's file and run right along that tooth right there, and any others that I see that might not be perfect. You can tell these teeth were not cut in here, they were cast in there. Other than that one tooth right there that had that little divot, all the others look okay. Not real happy about that. I was kind of expecting this to not have any kind of flaws like that. Ooh. Okay. Port is open. Alright guys, the battery died, but I think the last thing you saw me do was kind of tapping around the base to get the parts to kind of vibrate together. I've got it all torqued up. I torqued these to 100 inch-pounds. I don't know what the torque is. I just wanted to make sure that all three were even and you don't see any seam. So, went together really, really nice. Clean this up, then we'll put this base back on and get her on the lathe. There is a little chip right there. And you can see that this has been ground. I don't know if you, hopefully that's coming through, but it's precision ground. And let me find my dot. There's the dot right there. That was right across from the port. Just a little oil in between the surfaces. Actually, I don't want to tighten those up just yet, because whenever we dial this in, we're going to want this to be able to move around. So I'll probably just leave them just like that. But the next step to this little job is installing the studs for the, if I didn't say it before, this is a D1-5 mount. Is you've got a little ring right here, and you screw these in until it's right up to that ring. So I'm going to go just below. Torque's not near as important on these, but we'll torque them since I've already got the torque wrench out. It's because I had it on 40. Here's 60. Okay, let's get her up here. Now I've already got a mark right here, so I'm going to try to use that mark to line this up. Now remember, I don't have these completely tight yet because we're going to snug these up to get her dialed in. To start with though, let's see where we're sitting. Let's see, let me get a setup going here. Actually, we could. Okay, so she's about 5 thousandths out right now. All right, guys, so we're right on the nose of the taper. We're about 5 thousandths. Let me get the Allen that I need. So I'm just turning these down until they just touch. Okay, it just touched. And I may even need to back these off just a little bit more. I don't know yet. Okay, so they're all just touching right now. Okay, so when it goes to the 5, it's being pushed that way, so we need to... I'm just going to lightly hit that. Okay, that's a little less than 1,000 there. It's about half a thou. Now I have not loosened the back side, so depending on how far off you are, sometimes you'll need to tighten this one, but loosen the one 180 degrees from it. I'm just tightening them, just to see if I can move it enough to get this thing pretty close. So that's half a thou. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to loosen this one. Snug him back up, come back over here, and we're going to tighten this one. Might have been too much. We're still about half a thou. Okay, so that right there, that's probably about 2 or 3 tenths. We're going to leave that right where it's at, put the collet in it, and then go from there. I'm going to have to make a nicer wrench that can be spun quicker. Right there. Since it's got 2 keys, we're going to kind of snug both of them up equally. Now we can come up closer to the okay, so that's probably about 2 tenths right there. How far out can we come here without hitting? And that is about half a thou, I think. Actually, that's about 6 tenths. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off of the back plate, check for parallelism. Might have to skim the back plate just slightly. And basically what I want to do is see just how parallel this surface is. Okay, it's kind of hard to see that indicator right here. Let me get it on 0. That's pretty close to 0 right there. I'm going to spin the chuck. And you can see virtually no movement, which is good because this is a ground surface and I really would not want to have to skim it if I didn't have to. Anyway, we're going to get the collet chuck mounted back up, get it dialed back in the best we can, and see how it goes. Alright guys, so I've got it whenever it's as far up against the collet as possible. I've got it about 2 to 3 tenths dialed in. Whenever it's out, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Whenever it's out, about as far as we can get out here on the edge of the end mill, which is about 1 inch. Let me make sure that's as zeroed as possible. We're about half a thou, so about another 2 tenths. Now that could be the collet, that could actually be the collet chuck. I don't know, but that's going to be plenty good for me. The only way to know if it's the collet, I guess, I could swap out another collet with a different size end mill, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to call this good. The main reason I bought this was machining of these bushings for the Honda lawnmower. There's a lot of Honda push mowers that have plastic bushings and they melt and end up binding up the self-propelled drive axle. Especially when you try to pull it backwards, the wheels will actually be completely locked up. So I make these bushings and I sell them to people that need them. Anyway, we're done. This was the Precision Matthews D1-5 Collet Chuck, C5 Collet Chuck. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Is it any better than another cheaper chuck? I don't know. Time will tell. But it is adjustable, so you can tweak it in and you know, get it about as close as it's going to be able to be gotten. Anyway, oh, and by the way, this little Allen here, that's the alignment stud for the collet, so that is replaceable, so you can take that out and make a new one or buy one and screw it back in if it was to ever give you problems. Anyway, we're done. This is a Grizzly G4003G Lathe, and that's a Precision Matthews Collet Chuck. You guys take care. We'll see you.